Alright guys, I know you have been seeing this all day. If you haven't, I'm going to talk about it right now. The quarterback battle between Tua Tagovailoa and Jalen Hurts. I want to know at the end of this video who you guys think is going to be the starter and your reason why. I'm going to tell you why I think who should be the starter. But first, I want you to hear what Jalen Hurts had to say about him not being told about the situation sooner, and Tua, how he feels about the whole situation too. So it's crazy because both of these guys are great, and oh man, it's hard. But all right, take a listen to what they had to say, and I'll tell you my thoughts at the end of those videos.
What's been your reaction to some of the talk on the outside, whether it's from fans or media, even just kind of making up their mind on who's going to win?
I just brush it off. You know, like I said, it's funny to me. It's all silly. And I mean, that's the world we live in. You know, it's the reality of it. Like I said, I mean, ever since the championship game, you know, people have counted me out. People have said I'm going to go to Texas or go here, whatever it is. Alumni have said that. I mean, the list goes on. But regardless of what people are saying, I'm still here. And, you know, as far as I'm concerned, my job is to be the best quarterback I can be, and that's what I was trying to do every day.
So you were surprised when things were worded how they were at media days?
Yeah, I'd say so. I mean, and the spring has been so, you know, it went the way it did. But for me, like I said, I was kind of like, you know, I'm not saying anything. So for me, when I look at the things that are being said, and I'm not looking for it, it just comes to me. And when I see that those things are being said, I'm like, you know, that's silly, because, you know, he said this, he said that, maybe Coach Saban said this, whoever said whatever, what did Jalen say? Not a thing.
And I'm glad that he cleaned that up and got a chance to speak to the media to tell everyone his thoughts and not something else from other sources. So I'm glad he got a chance to say that. But let's hear what else he had to say.
Did you want to say something, during this whole time to kind of clarify your position?
Well, I think, like I said, they didn't want me to talk for whatever reason. I get the opportunity to speak now, and I mean, I've always tried to handle situations like this and handle speaking the best way that I can, because in the day, I'm representing myself and I'm representing my family back home.
With the use of social media, though, I mean, you could have, in some ways, did that. Was that also kind of explicitly told to you that, you know, maybe you shouldn't post something on social media to kind of answer, I guess, some of these questions?
Well, I think it's something that you just, I mean, this is a situation that is uncontrollable. Coaches can't control this situation. You know, they'll dictate who plays, but as far as the other, you know, the variations to it, they don't, you know, control it, honestly. And, you know, like I said, this whole spring, ever since the game, they kind of wanted to let it play out. You know, they kind of, I guess, didn't think it was a thing, or tried to let it die down like it wasn't something there, because there's always been an elephant in the room. And, you know, it's like, for me, no one came up to me the whole spring, coaches included. No one asked me how I felt. No one asked me what was on my mind. No one asked me, you know, how I felt about the things that were going on. Nobody asked me what my future entailed, and that's that. So now it's like, when we try and kind of handle the situation now, for me, it's kind of late. It's too late. You know, the narrative has already been created.
And I want to get you guys' thoughts on why you think no one came to Jalen throughout the spring. He knew, I'm pretty sure everybody knew. Tua, with that second half he had, Jalen Hurts' position was on the line. But nobody came to him and, you know, kind of had that conversation with him. But I want to know what you guys think, because it seemed to really bother him, you know. So let's see what Tua Tagovailoa had to say.
How much has your life changed in the last 8 months, 9 months since the championship game?
I mean, it's definitely changed a lot, you know, and I think that goes for anyone who's you know, in the spotlight or whatnot, and who nobody really knows about, and, you know, performs in a big situation. So, I mean, I think that's you know, it's changed. And I think that goes for anyone that you know, does something, you know, at least decent on a big stage. So.
Tua, what do you have to do to win the job?
What do I have to do to win the job? You know, for me, I'm not really focused on winning the job. You know, I don't think that's ever been in my persona. You know, I think what we have to do as a team is what's most important to me. You know, we got to focus on what we can do now to better ourselves, better each other. And, you know, as the season goes on, you know, we'll see and whatnot. But we're just focused on trying to better ourselves as a team, preparing for the first game, you know, and just looking at how we can you know, identify ourselves this year.
Has it been weird or uncomfortable or awkward or anything for you and Jalen, knowing that there's so much talk that it's going to get settled on the field, but still people are talking about it too?
I mean, nothing. We don't talk about any quarterback controversies at practice. Me and Jalen don't even bring it up. You know, as far as this season, you know, we're just looking at getting each other better. You know, there's no negative contingencies. You know, we don't go into games thinking I might not start, or, you know, I'm going to go into this game and I'm going to throw a pick. You know, no negative contingencies. You know, we want to be positive, you know, because the team looks at that. You know, the team looks at what we say, you know, at the media as well. And so, I mean, I just don't want anything, you know, to ruin our relationship and whatnot. And I don't think anything between me and Jalen is bad. So.
What a great teammate to have, and what a great friend to have. I'm pretty sure he's a great teammate, and he's very humble. And I know him and Jalen get along well. And the media, I feel like, and some of the fans, and I'm not want to blame anyone, but I feel like people are trying to separate them, you know. And they're both great players. Like, I want to see them both do great in their careers. Me personally, I think Jalen will start. I don't know. I know people would disagree with that, but I think Jalen will start. I mean, you got to think, man. He only lost 2 games in his career. Yeah, he had a bad game against Georgia. We all saw it. You know, Tua came out in second half and threw to those Ferraris, those receivers, as David Pollock would say. But Jalen Hurts he led us to 2 national championship games, man. One as a freshman. So the guy has talent. You know, Tua has a lot more capabilities, I would say. He can make probably more bigger plays than Jalen, but I would hate to see Tua on the bench for a full game and Jalen on the bench for a full game. Because they're both great players, and hopefully Nick Saban can at least let them play a half and a half or something like that.
Who do you think ultimately wins this job, David?
I don't think this is a debate. I mean, look at Vegas. They have somebody on the board. They don't have somebody else on the board for a reason. I mean, we can point to Jalen Hurts as a 26-2 starter. There's a lot of people that can win a lot of games at Alabama, and you can win a ton of games with Jalen Hurts, and he's proven that. To win a national title, I think you're going to need a little something extra. You got an offense that's tailor-made. You got some Ferraris on the outside. You got big hosses up front that are an offensive line that's experienced coming back. You got a stable of running backs. You got everything you need. This offense to be the next gear, the next level, it needs Tua at quarterback. And that's why he'll be at quarterback. And he's going to make plays that make you go, wow. And he's a much better passer than Jalen Hurts. I think he also will give you some mistakes. And that's the thing. Laura, he didn't get to go through spring. And that's a big deal. He missed the spring practices that he could have, you know, really solidified himself and taken those next steps to get better. This guy was a true freshman a year ago. I expect him to get better as the season goes on, but the best passer and quarterback on the roster is definitely